I often get asked about what kind of books somebody should get for mineral identification, rock identification, and honestly there's not a really good book. So most mineral books only cover about 100, maybe even 200 common minerals, and out of the 5,500 there are, that makes it semi-useful but not completely useful. Rocks are even worse. There are about 40,000 different types of rocks, and so to make a book that would cover all the rocks and all the minerals, it would be bigger than an encyclopedia set. So for those of you who remember encyclopedias. So with that said, I like this book, Peterson's Field Guide. It covers a lot of the most common minerals you're going to find out there in the field, and it's a pretty inexpensive book, and it's well written. Same with the Audubon Field Guide, National Audubon Society's Field Guide to North American Rocks and Minerals. So a long title, good book. It's got a lot of good pictures, but a lot of the pictures in here are really small, of specimens that are really small, so little tiny microcrystals. So, but it's still a good book. I highly recommend it, and honestly, you should probably have both of them. Now that's for the hobbyist, and that's a good start. There's all kinds of books about different subjects. You can get them about agates and fluorescent minerals, or any other subject. This one about agates is this is book one of a 3-part series, and they're just phenomenal. They're also very expensive. Ones like this about fluorescent minerals, they're very good. They're not very scientific, but they have very good basic information in there about them. This one, this is a book about fluorescence if you want a scientific explanation for it, and this is a book about fluorescence and phosphorescence and why it even works and happens. Then this book, James Dwight Dana wrote the first book. He was is the father of mineralogy, and he wrote Dana's Manual of Mineralogy back in the 1880s-ish, 70s. And it's still used as a textbook today. This one is from an edition from the 1920s. His books, if you can find the original editions, are very expensive and highly sought after by collectors. So if you find some, let me know. This book is the very first book written on mining. Georgius Agricola wrote De Re Metallica back in the 1500s. And this obviously not a 1500s copy. This is a more recent edition. Again, the book itself is as collectible as many as the minerals. And you can get books on where to go rock hounding, rock hounding in Utah. I'm not a particular fan of any of the 3 books that are written about rock hounding in Utah, but it's a good place to start. You just have to know that the authors to the books are not necessarily rock and mineral people, they're just authors, and so they write according to what they know. A couple of other magazines that are good is Rock and Mineral Magazine is probably my favorite magazine. The Mineralogical Record, also a good magazine. This is more written for people with a little bit of science and really like good pictures, and this is written for more of a rockhound collector type person. So, all right, thanks for watching. If you have any questions or if you want to see about a specific book, let us know below. Thanks.